pure financial opening.
In the early 1990s, Kenya's retail sector saw the rise of a new player, Tuskys Supermarket. Founded by Joram Kamau in 1985, the business began as a duka-style small shop in Nakuru. He called it Magic Superstore. The small shop initially specialized in mattresses. As the business grew, it expanded its product range, but true to Kamau's religious beliefs, it never stocked alcohol or cigarettes. Interestingly, Kamau eventually handed over his store to his brother, Peter Mukuhakago, who would later transform it into Naivas, now Kenya's largest supermarket chain. By the late 1980s, Kamau's vision took a major leap forward. With the support of Nakumatt founder Mangalal Shah, he opened the first Nairobi branch on Mfangano Street, marking the birth of Tuskys. As Kenya's middle class grew and demand for modern supermarkets increased, Tuskys seized the opportunity. Tuskys grew rapidly by strategically positioning its stores near bus stations, making them easily accessible to commuters and everyday shoppers. Coupled with competitive pricing, this approach gave Tuskys an edge over its competitors. However, in 2002, the supermarket's visionary founder, Joram Kamau, passed away, leaving the business in the hands of his children, a turning point that would shape the future of the retail giant. By 2015, it had become one of the largest supermarket chains in East Africa, with over 60 branches spread across Kenya and Uganda. Its success was built on affordability, accessibility, and strong supply chain. The supermarket employed over 6,000 people and had an annual turnover exceeding 40 billion Kenya shillings. By 2017, subtle but telling signs of trouble began to emerge. Suppliers, once loyal to Tuskys, started complaining of delayed payments. The supermarket's aggressive expansion had put a strain on its finances, and cash flow problems were becoming evident. At first, customers noticed occasional stockouts, minor inconveniences that were brushed off as logistical hiccups. But by 2019, the problem had worsened, partly due to the COVID-19 pandemic that took the world by surprise. Shelves at Tuskys were frequently empty. Employees were going months without salaries, and suppliers were beginning to pull out. The company's debt was growing at an alarming rate, and by the mid-2020, Tuskys owed suppliers an estimated 2.7 billion Kenya shillings. This marked the beginning of a downward spiral. Financial mismanagement, poor leadership, and unchecked debt had put Tuskys in a precarious position. While competitors like Naivas were thriving, Tuskys was barely holding on. The cracks had turned into gaping holes, and it was only a matter of time before the inevitable happened. One of the most damaging factors in Tuskys' downfall was the bitter infighting among its owners. After the passing of founder Joram Kamau in 2002, his children took over the company. In 2012, tensions boiled over when Yusuf Mugwero, one of the brothers, took his siblings to court, accusing them of mismanaging the company and siphoning funds. He claimed that millions of shillings were being funneled into unknown accounts. Reports revealed that between May 2009 and January 2012, a staggering 1.6 billion Kenya shillings was siphoned from Tuskys. Funds held in 5 company bank accounts were funneled into third-party accounts linked to Tuskys directors and other unidentified individuals. According to statements given to DCI, Yusuf detailed how these transfers were carried out as follows: Tuskys Kampala, 279 million Kenya shillings; Uthera Villas Limited, 400 million Kenya shillings; Pop Maida Limited, 200 million Kenya shillings; Ken Sport Company, 322 million Kenya shillings; and Karasha Department Store, 441 million Kenya shillings. According to a police report, Yusuf alleged that when he questioned the directors about the owners of the account where the siphoned fund had been transferred, his brother, Stephen Mukuha Kamau, physically assaulted him in front of Tuskys employees. This led Yusuf to take legal action against him. This lawsuit would drag on for years, further destabilizing the company. The management was divided, and strategic decisions became harder to make. While other supermarkets were adapting to the digital age and expanding their delivery services, Tuskys remained stuck in internal conflicts. To make matters worse, in 2016, Tuskys CEO Daniel Githua was abruptly ousted by the supermarket's founder's grandchildren in a viral video, reportedly due to disagreements over governance and financial management. His efforts to modernize operations clashed with the founding family's interests. His removal signaled deep internal conflicts that later contributed to the retailer's downfall. By 2019, the lack of clear leadership had left the company in financial ruin. Employees and suppliers were left in limbo as the company struggled to survive. As the financial crisis deepened, Tuskys tried to buy time. In August 2020, the company sought a 2 billion Kenya shillings bailout to help stabilize operations. However, the damage was too severe. Suppliers had lost trust, and creditors were demanding payment. In December 2020, the Competition Authority of Kenya approved a takeover bid from a shadowy Mauritius-based investor. This was supposed to be Tuskys' lifeline, but the deal fell through due to a lack of transparency. The final blow came in 2023. After years of legal battle and unsuccessful recovery attempt, Justice Majanja ordered the liquidation of Tuskys on May 31st, 2023. At the time, the company owed creditors 19.7 billion Kenya shillings, yet its remaining assets were valued at only 6 billion Kenya shillings. One by one, Tuskys stores shut their doors. By the end of 2023, what was once one of Kenya's largest supermarket chains had completely collapsed. Employees lost their jobs, suppliers lost billions, and Kenya's retail sector was left to grapple with the downfall of yet another giant. The fall of Tuskys serves as a cautionary tale for businesses. One of the biggest lessons is the importance of financial discipline. Tuskys expanded too aggressively without ensuring sustainable cash flow. Unlike its competitor Naivas, which maintained a steady growth strategy, Tuskys overextended itself. Secondly, internal governance is crucial. The family disputes at Tuskys crippled decision-making, leading to mismanagement and financial ruin. Businesses, especially family-run enterprises, must ensure clear succession plans and professional leadership. Third, adapting to changing consumer needs is essential. While global brands like Carrefour introduced online shopping and home deliveries, Tuskys remained outdated in its approach. As Kenya's retail sector continues to evolve, former Tuskys customers have moved on to brands like Naivas, Quickmart, and Carrefour. The supermarket business remains competitive, and only those who learn from past mistakes will survive. Tuskys' downfall was not just a business failure, it was the collapse of a legacy. It's a reminder that no matter how big a company is, poor financial management and leadership struggles can bring it to its knees.